it doesn't really matter who it is because everybody's got their own story.
Hmm.
I mean, does if like I think you can get a lot out of like just talking to any furry because everyone's got their own take and how they started in the fandom, and that's just what I kind of want to like immortalize in podcast format.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I think it really is. I really like it, even though I really wanted to watch the whole episode of your first one. I got through like 10
No,
minutes of it.
it's
I
okay.
was really
It's
enjoying it and
it's
stuff. I thought it was really good. I really like the name of it, Tree Bark.
Yeah, it came from a bad pun that Bennett made, so I turned it into the actual name of the show.
And actually, yeah, I think that's good origins for the name of a show. Um, yeah, I think it's a really good idea.
Thank you. So yeah, it's not meant to like be a topical thing, or it could be, but I kind of want to make it set up where it's like an archive of just like maybe for the time for like for the memes that we talk about in the episodes and whatnot, people can just go back and like listen to it and see,
Hmm.
because like stories are pretty much like timeless. You can always like listen to somebody's story for the first time, so
Yeah.
that's pretty dope. Okay, yeah, we can start. I guess with introductions. So, hi, my name is Theo. I'm, I guess your host for Tree Bark. This is the podcast, the furry podcast, where we talk about various furry things. So today my guest is one of my close friends, actually, um, Damon. Would you like to do a little intro for yourself or describe yourself?
Yes. Hello. Hi. I'm Damon. Day for short. I. Uh. That's it.
That's it. What's
That's
your
it.
species? What
What's my?
you're?
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my thing. I am a black wolf.
And
There.
then
Is that a good?
yeah, that's fine.
Hey.
If
It's original.
is that the one you mostly identify as? Because I know you have more than one Sona.
Yeah. I've got like multiple sonas. To better show the different aspects of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like the an amalgamation of them is me. Um,
And like for what it's worth, like like that's your true self. You don't try to put on like other like because I know some people they adopt like the characters of something that they enjoy, but like for your characters, they're just more so extensions, like as I understand it, of yourself anyway.
yes, extensions of me and how I am. I like to put a lot of how I view or and how I act and am
Mm.
into them and everything. Um, e- Especially when it comes to like maybe like art or stories, backstories. Still working on mine. Don't really know how to go
No,
with
yeah, I
that.
know you're really big
Um,
into lore because like coming from like enjoying games like Magic and whatnot and like maybe even like the Halo series and Mass Effect, right? Aren't you like a big fan of those?
yes, space.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. So yeah, so lore and like the fantasy aspect is like a huge part of like the fandom, I guess, to yourself.
Yeah,
Like, and that kind of
I.
no,
You
sorry, go
sorry.
on.
No, you go. I just really like it.
How would you so this like I guess pushes me to the first question that I often ask people. So it's like how did you get into the fandom? Was it through this kind of interest in the fantasy role play or yeah, what was your first take on it?
Well, it's really, really interesting for me. I guess I don't know. The first thing I would say that ever really exposed me to the
Mm.
fandom without me really even knowing it is video game junkie. I loved the original Spyro trilogy. That is, I think, what opened the door for me. The original Spyro games I loved. I collected. There's Christmas videos of me unboxing them as my Christmas present and screaming like a little child,
But
um,
it was like
excited to have them.
it was like the cartoon or like the anthropomorphic nature of these characters in the video games that like kind of seeded the first thoughts of like
Yeah, the
oh
first thoughts kind of in there, and of course, like, all right, I like that. I get into middle school. I discover deviant art. I don't
ooh la la.
post. I see some art and stuff. I remember there's an artist on there that had really nice. realistic-y kind of art on there that I followed. I don't, he kind of wasn't too active and stuff, but that kind of helped me continue along
Mm.
that path, getting into high school, discovering a little bit more, leaning more towards the furry art.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think
Deviant.
what before the furry came, me being into like Digimon, and then that led me to FA, discovering that there's this whole furry community type of thing. Not really, still not
Mm.
knowing what it is.
But like
Um,
you can kind of feel yourself being more and more surrounded by that type of content, or like kind of vague like animal nature type of thing where you see these
yeah,
characters. And I guess over time, yeah, DeviantArt was one of those platforms, I would say, even for myself in high school, that I like loosely use, because a lot of my friends were using it because they liked art in general. So I got my like start on that site. But there would be always like this, I guess, just like you would see on the title page, the front page of just, art that's recently updated. And there would always be anthro art there of like Sonic or some other character that,
oh
like,
gosh.
yeah, like Spyro. And I I never quite understood what that was until like I entered the fandom, but that was like years prior. But yeah, DeviantArt was definitely like a strong, like, I guess, like stepping stone.
Yeah, it's kind of the same for me, in which it wasn't like, I discovered this fandom at a younger age, and then I'm part of it and I love it. I know that some furs, that's how their origins are, is like they enter the fandom at like, as they're entering their teens,
But
and everything. I entered mine at the age of 19 when I
mm,
was a working adult.
just starting your adulthood. Because that's, yeah, that's
Yes,
still fairly young. So it wasn't so much that you went on DeviantArt to explore the fandom, but you kind of just naturally was like learning more about this thing. You weren't too sure what it was called yet.
exactly. I
Oh,
didn't really
okay.
know what it was called until like I'm out of school. I happened upon some. I happened upon FA. Saw some cool art that I liked.
Yeah, no, it's
I
fine
think
to say like lewd
the
stuff too. That's totally cool.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this can
Zeke
be an
from Croc
adult.
Dragon 89, Zeke, that purple dragon and everything, he turned me. He's the one that really seeded that whole furry thing,
Mm.
and I'm just like, "Oh, yeah, I really like this." Um and then I came across I feel like such a loser for saying this for some reason, but I came
No,
across a video of Telephone. Hello.
telephone. Oh, the angel dragon. Right on.
Yeah, the Angel Dragon. I think it was Tayer, or albino topaz is what her normal handle is.
Those
Like dancing
are
in a
fur-
suit,
fursuit dancers.
a fursuit dancer. Yeah. Um, and then I came to know the fursuits, and that kind of exploded the whole like furry fandom in like to
As you
me,
know it today. Yeah.
that's when I started exploring it. I'm like, what is this? What's this called? Oh, it's a fursuit. What are these for? Oh, there are conventions that people go to. What is this whole thing called? There's this. FA made an account.
It's just a
Uh,
rabbit hole after that. Yeah.
rabbit hole. I joined a Facebook group, which is the 808 furry events.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it came across that, met, as you know, Wilba, fellow Maui fur over here,
Oh yeah. Sorry. Wait.
who she's the first one that drew my Sona. She helped me bring him to life for the first time.
Oh, so this
Yeah.
all happened like basically like within a year, actually,
It
from
happened in like 2 months.
holy shit, 0 to 80 real quick.
Yeah, it was just like boom. I'm just like, I'm on FA. Here's my Sona. It is
Mm-hmm.
a Black Wolf original character, Donut Steel.
And
Um,
that's kind
yeah,
of the interesting thing too, because like you can appreciate the fandom for what it is, but like, do you think like as you got more into it, like creating a character wasn't something like nobody asked you to do that, right? Just
no,
making your Sona seem like a natural progression of like being more involved, and then like you can like interact with people to like an even deeper level with your Sona.
yeah, it was kind of like okay, people have like this name or this image that they put out of themselves, and I
Yeah.
think I'll do the same thing. For me, that's the time I'm making it. It was very uh, God, I say it and it makes me sound like an edgelord or something, but
This is a
I
safe
don't know. I want to say
place.
like darker, I get a darker time. I'm very, very pessimistic.
Yeah.
Graduating from high school, didn't go to college just because like whatever. I kind of can't really afford to go to college. I'll just go straight to work. I hate my
Mm-hmm.
life. I hate why does anything matter? We're all gonna die anyway. Blah blah blah.
It just
But
became like really like I'm 14 and this is deep
yeah,
and
exactly. It's like
but
I've unlocked the secrets to life and everything, and it's what matter. What it means is that nothing doesn't matter.
but at least through like the fandom you could like have some sort of like outlet to express that part of yourself and even more so.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. It was really tough making friends at the start.
Mm.
I just think because I don't know. I just feel like a lot of us joining the fandom, we're all socially awkward. We don't really know how to talk to people. What? Who does?
Actually,
Honestly.
that's a super good point. I kind of want to unpack because like I'm just trying to think about this now. Like nobody showed you what this fandom was, yet you naturally gravitated towards it. There are aspects of you like it. There are aspects of it that like a lot of us share. You know, like from anthropomorphic things to like character role play, etc. Dancing. Like there's so many mediums in this culture that it's just so layered and dense that you're just like naturally going from this sort of like single person to not really interacting with people to interacting with like literally hundreds of thousands of people, and
Yep.
nobody's really, it's not like a group of friends was like, hey, look at this trending thing and like jump on the bandwagon. It's like, no, you found it independently, and there's a whole like bunch of furs and people that just have so much in common with you, and that's like really gripping.
Yes, it's terrifying
Because
at
it
first. At least it kind of was for me. I'm just like, oh, there are all these kind of people here, and I don't know how do I talk to someone without seeing being creepy?
yeah, yeah,
I don't want to just be like, I don't want to just like slide, send you a note on FA and just say, hey,
just
because
the
let's be honest,
random
we all hate those ones.
the random furry hello and then nothing follows.
Nothing follows. Uwu, do you RP?
Yeah, maybe you do an RP, but then that just leaves the I
The,
guess the awkward like
the
pause, like
mm, nice icebreaker.
yeah.
Um,
Well, that's fine. I
yeah,
think we all have to go through that phase.
yeah, that was I wasn't one of the people to go out and RP actually. I didn't even know what that was until
Mm-hmm.
after joining the fandom.
No, yeah, same. I didn't know role playing was a thing that. Well, no, I take that back because I knew that there are some parallels like with Dungeons and Dragons, and there is that type of role play, right? Where I think it's called LARPing.
Yeah,
That is a form of like fantasy, like engaging like with that part, like in the game space with like the real life space, and you play that out.
yeah, and yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm
No.
not an intellectual, so I don't really have a lot of great things to say.
Oh,
Just
geez, like what the heck
FYI to
am I
anyone
then?
like listening to this, it's smarter than me.
So, okay, so I mean, with all that said, though, even like as you're exploring more, like what, like for you personally, how can you necessarily put like a label on if someone were to ask you, if I'm gonna ask you right now, like what is furry? I don't know what that is. Like, can you define that for me, or do you have some sort of personal interpretation?
Hmm.
It's like, oh, okay, I'm a furry. It's like, well, what is that? I don't know what that means. Are you a carpet? Like, in a way, maybe actually. Now that I think
I
about
can be for you.
it, I can be a 350-degree oven for you. I'll bake you some cookies. But no, no, no. But like, yeah, if you just want to like take a little bit to just think about like what that means to you if you had to just explain it to somebody who has no idea, like in a few sentences, like what does that mean to you?
Furry to me is just a really fun way to express oneself. You know, when
So there's not necessarily anything
what's
specific about it.
not really, yeah, anything specific. It's to me, furry is kind of like to me, furry is fun. It's like it's Halloween every day to me.
Ooh, I like
Um,
that.
I love Halloween. It's the best holiday, and in my opinion, the reason why for that is that Halloween is the day that you can be anyone you want to be. But I feel that on Halloween, that's when you can be who you truly are, because then no one really judges you
Mm-hmm.
on what you are and what you do because oh, it's Halloween, they're acting out this whole type of thing. But in reality, we are kind of being ourselves in our own different way, and it's a
Yeah,
way for me to express myself every day, without feeling like I have to conform to
some sort of
societal norms, I
yeah.
guess is what you could say. If for the different like for me, or at least being over here and everything, or I guess every day is that people expect you to be
Of a
have like
certain
at least in
norm
my at least
or
in my let's just like take my work, in the hospitality industry.
okay.
It's like be happy, welcoming, go happy, go lucky, great, always being that person to help, or just always being um
Kind of
that
like
cheery kind
constantly
of
perky,
person for you,
yeah.
constantly perky attitude. And then when you take my main Sona Daemon into he's grump, he slouches,
He grumpy boy.
he's I'm just like, hey Damon, how are you? Terrible, what do you want?
I have
That's
gotten
just
that. No, but that's
you've
also
gotten that a lot.
yeah, and we're really good friends, but it's not like, oh, I'm treating that as if like, oh, he's in a bad mood. No, it's because that's like
It's
what you
just
like
like
to
me.
portray. Like that's
Yeah.
like, oh, then he's normal if he says that. Like if he was saying like, oh yeah, hi, I'm like the happiest guy on earth. Like I'm like, oh, okay, something's
It's
what's
just
up,
like, okay,
Damon?
so
You want to talk?
what's wrong? Yeah, trying too hard. It's like I don't have to try hard to
Mm.
be some way being a furry. I
Yeah,
can just be me. I can be how I feel and everything. I remember us talking uh back a couple months ago about my different sonas and everything, and they reflect different aspects of me. And you know when I'm a bit more happier and in a better place and not so grumpy, I'm one of my sonas. But then when I am and I'm in that kind of mood, that mindset, I'm this other sona. So it's like
but it's
I
still
just feel it's a
communicating
great
like
expression of me.
yeah, and that was pretty. I think pretty like beautifully put. Like, oh, you don't need a certain holiday to express that. It's just at least
Yeah,
within like the subculture. Like, no, that's the platform that you can operate on. Like everyone gets it. Like you can
yeah,
just
and
be that all year.
yeah, and that's what it is to me. Just it's a constant holiday.
I like that. Okay. So I mean, kind of still playing off that. What aspects of the community over time like resonate with you most though? Like, um, I mean, to give you an example, like I know that you have an interest in fursuit dancing. You have a passion for like, commissioning art. Uh, some like the title of art whore. I mean, I love art too. There are
Art
just
is
so many
amazing.
formats. Even music, literature. There's so many furry writers and just creatives. Like, um, what what draws you, or what are you drawn most to in the fandom?
Um, I guess it a lot of it is the art and stuff. I love seeing what people are able to create. Um, it's like art in any of its form, writing, music, dancing, and all of that. All of it just interests me. I like just seeing what people are able to create. It's amazing. As a creator, I'm not a creator and everything. I can hardly draw a triangle, without making a crooked line or something. Um, but it's amazing seeing what these people, can do and all their
Hmm.
amazing talent and everything. And I guess and for that, it just goes more than just furry. I mean, it goes into any creative kind of thing. But I guess the furry fandom has helped open up my eyes to really appreciate what people can do in
Yes.
everything.
Seeing
You know,
like no, sorry, go on.
uh, it's just amazing getting to see people express themselves a in the purest form they can. I mean, you've seen me when at BLFC
Yeah, especially
this year
I was just
at the
gonna say,
dance
yeah.
which is our competition. You just watching me being whole googly eyed at everyone and seeing at how they can perform, and
Yeah,
it's great.
I could see in that moment, like during like the performances over there, like when you when there were certain dancers like me and like
Chow
a
mein.
couple of our other friends. Yeah, your eyes lit up so hard. I'm probably clipping the mic right now, but like wow, you we were just like looking at your reaction and appreciating your reaction and the love that you had for all of those dancers, and that like oh that was the highlight of that show for me personally.
Yeah, it's great, and I love seeing what people can do, and I really really appreciate it, and I just I always want to tell these people who do these great you know art, this great dance from the most upcoming artists to the world prolific most prolific artists. It's amazing what you can do, and just no matter, I know that they probably already know this, but keep doing what you do, keep expressing yourself in your way,
Yes.
whether it changes or stays the same. You keep doing it. Just know that I really appreciate being able to see someone express himself like this, and being able to do that. It's not easy. It's takes a lot of hard work, but it's also just nice seeing that kind of passion and everything. It's like with the that art piece you just did for me. Um,
Oh, yes. The
yeah,
one
like
featuring both
know,
Damon and Aizen.
yes. Favorite. I still can't stop looking at it. I'm trying to get
Oh,
it on a mouse
thank
pad,
you.
trying to get it on a wall scroll, trying to
Oof.
get a paper,
Oof.
wallpaper. I just want everything to be of it.
Oh,
I
I'm very honored.
literally tearing up every time I look at it.
Oh,
Um, but as you know, like my main concern is like, please, I'm sure is like, whatever you do, interpret it however you want, as long as you are doing it with the same passion and
exactly.
everything.
Yeah,
I'll love it,
and
however,
I think
however
that's
way you
when
you like it.
that's a really good point because I think that's when you see a lot of artists, no matter like what the medium is, if they're dancing, if they're drawing, if they're writing, that when you like not only when you commission them, but when you see like their best work or when you just see like the thing that really catches your eye, it's like they like they worked with yeah that passion that they're showing you how much they enjoyed making that thing in the piece itself, and
Yeah,
that's why I like a lot of the time during like as a side note like commissioning somebody, um a lot of what I commission an artist for is like for their perspective, for their like love of what they're making, and that gets me so jazzed up.
yeah, and excuse me. That's just it's it excites me too. A lot of times, whenever I um commission someone, they'll ask for an idea, and I kind of try to I'm not one of those people that like to be like, oh, I want this with this, I want a background like this at this position at this kind of angle and this expression and everything. I give
Mm-hmm.
more of like I was thinking something like this, what do you think?
Oh,
And
so at least give them like a general
here's an
direction.
idea,
Yeah.
but interpret it how you will and everything. I know I'll be happy with it. I mean, I'm commissioning you or whatever for your art and everything, so I just know I'll love how it turns out,
Yeah,
just as long
not
as you love working on it.
I won't
Uh,
be as audacious to say like, oh yeah, they'll like anything I make, because there's been a lot of I want to like at least be as transparent as I can with like the interaction between the artists and the commissioners, because a lot of the time I think like one of the heaviest things to deal with as a creator is like making something and then just having somebody kind of, be disappointed with it. That's like so soul crushing. Like, oh, I really wanted to get something that looked like your past art, but if it's like that they're doing something new, it's
mhm.
it's a really fine line, and I always try to like not get crushed under that pressure.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think that's something that people need to realize is that, people, do like change. And what's nice
Mm-hmm.
about the furry community is like everything that's or art in general, everything is unique. This is made by a real person with real feelings, passions, and goals, and everything's going to be unique. It's not like a mass-produced image,
Yeah, it's one of a
being
kind.
created. This is one of a kind, and this is just for me, made by,
And
this person. So how can I not love? To me, that's the way that I see it and everything. And I just I like I like just telling artists that I really do enjoy their work, regardless of how they interpret it or how they may change their style or do something different. Like the fursuit I have, my
mm-hmm.
my first fursuit. A lot of things on that was new, experimented on, and it was a lot of it was like a it was, the fursuit maker was doing like a style change and trying a whole bunch of different things. And some people might think like, oh, it doesn't look good as the previous suits made, or it doesn't look good as so and so. But to me, I think it's amazing, and I'm honored that they would choose me to experiment something different and to
Yeah.
try something new. And because then it's like, well, I know I have something definitely one of a kind and something
Oh,
truly unique.
actually, like, yeah, on that topic of fursuits, do you kind of want to, would you like to expand upon like the process of, acquiring a fursuit, or like the process that you went through for those that maybe not familiar with fursuiting and kind of want to get a suit? Because I know a lot of people that um know that a lot of suitors like, just have these, like a couple $1,000 things, and they really want to get into either making or commissioning somebody for a fursuit. So can you like talk about your experience with that?
Well, I want to say that I was pretty lucky at the time to get a fursuit commission. When I got into the fandom, I was in the fandom for maybe just about a year. Um, when Wilba kind of told me about her suit maker, and I had interest in getting a suit. I was starting a new job that offered way more pay. I
Mm-hmm.
could afford to get one.
Yeah, suit
She
is
helped me get in
definitely
contact.
an investment.
It is. Love yours, by the way. Can't wait to see it in person.
Oh, thank you. Yes. No,
Um,
yeah, we're definitely gonna take pics together, no matter what, as soon as we can.
yes, yes. Um, yeah, it was. She got helped me get in touch with her creator, who was accepting commissions. Gave me a price. I was able to budget it out. I know a lot of fursuits from a lot of prolific makers are, in the two, three, $4,000 range.
Mm.
I lucked out. Mine was about was about 1550 for my full digigrade suit. Um,
Which is a really good price, actually. Like,
really really good price. That maker asked for a 50% deposit. Gave it to
mm-hmm.
her. She could start work right away. Worked out a payment plan, paid her off over the course of a few months, and
Yeah, actually, but at
boom.
that process for like, at least payment wise, I think a lot of people would be. at least kind of hesitant about that type of exchange? Like, is it was it contractual, like, or is it just like by trust? How do you feel that out? Like, I'm going to put a deposit of X amount of dollars, and I don't know when they're gonna start. They say they'll maybe get it done within 2 years, and for these large, investments, like, how do you gauge that level of trust or guarantee? Because it's sometimes really hard for people to, I imagine, make that decision, especially
For
on something they
me,
care about.
yeah. For me, I guess again, lucky because I went by the word of my friend who had her partial, made. I really liked it. I, just decided, hey, you know what? Why don't I just go for it? I guess kind of a risk and everything. And plus she was like the creator is, from here, from Maui and
Oh
everything.
wow,
So
I did not
yeah,
know that. Okay, that's
from
pretty
Maui,
dope.
lives from Maui, going to college in Oregon. Um,
Oh nice, 808 got a
and
rep.
I was just, yep. So I'm just like, I trust her. I think she's good, and she's contacting me like for about this. So I think she's someone that I can really trust. I
Okay.
understand the hesitant in wanting to do it. I kind of look back and see how some people have gone through their you know first fursuit commissions or and it just be a complete nightmare. And I've been like, yeah, you know what? The way I did it, it was like I checkmarked to a terms of service on a Google form, and that
Mm-hmm.
was it. It's like I don't really know if this is, a safe type of thing to do.
Okay, but
'Cause
it's
again,
like
I
good.
was
It's good to understand that this wasn't a necessarily like out of the blue person. You had at least some background information, and you didn't just take a total risk. Like, I think that's
yes,
important for people to understand. Like, don't just pick a name off of any random forum list and just expect that you're gonna
just
get
expect that you're gonna get the suit and everything.
exactly.
And I was fortunate because I know that some yeah like, there's people who do sometimes go through that. They don't get their updates. The person doesn't talk to them
Yeah, that's
in
really
months and
scary.
everything. Like my suit maker, she told me, "Hey, I'm going to the fabric store. I'm picking up the materials I'm gonna need." Um she was like at the store, like took a couple of pictures. I'm thinking this color for this or this for this. What do you think? Does that work? And it's like, yeah, that works, and I appreciate it. And like with that, I knew I could trust her and that she was going to be working on it and everything.
Oh, so from
It,
early on in the process,
early on in the
it
process,
was
she
very
was
transparent.
very, very transparent and everything, and I appreciated it. And I'm not one to hound creators for updates on content and
Mm-hmm.
everything, but she would out of the blue. I would wake up one morning and be like, "Here's the phone base for your head. What do you think?" And
And
I'd
then
be
you could
like,
at least
"That
give
looks
her.
great."
Okay.
I could be like, "That looks great. Could I get it maybe shaven down just a little bit?" She's like, "Yeah, I can do about this much. I won't be able to go too much, or else it doesn't really fit my style." And I'd be like, "If you could, I'd greatly appreciate it, just a little bit. But of course, I don't want you to ruin your style as a creator
Actually,
and
yeah, that
everything."
that can be a little touchy because I'll admit for my first commission for the fursuit partial on the head, um I did get the same process. So like I got the update pics of the raw foam base and the proportions, and she would send me like some she was a Russian based artist. I'll say that. So her English wasn't 100%, but for what we could do and communicate, it was pretty good. Like 98% of the communication was good. And I did have this like slight small guilt about not at least critiquing a little bit on certain things that I would have changed, which was all on my that's all on my part. That's my fault 100%. So like just to TLDR, like the ears were just a little too big personally. So after the process, I did actually shave down the tips of the ears a little bit and then stitch and glue some portions myself. But I will say
Mhm.
that don't be afraid to, yeah, at least say like if you're getting this thing that you really do care about and you're gonna wear it proudly, get what you really would like. And I think a lot of artists are really, really caring, and they want to, they want to do their best work and work with you really well.
Yeah, these are people who work to hone their craft and, you know, eh, being a creator and everything. That's really difficult. I don't think anyone wants to put themselves in that position because of, financial hardships and everything that comes with it.
For sure.
And like, it's like don't be afraid to express how you want something to look or how you feel that it would look a little bit better or that you might like a little more. But also, to me, it's like don't, you know, expect someone to perform the same style that someone else does. It's like, you know, me waking up and you made me a cup of coffee and I tell you, well, Starbucks makes their coffee like this. It's like
Oh
it's like,
gosh.
okay, well then if you want Starbucks coffee, go to Starbucks coffee. I
Yeah.
don't have to do this, I don't have to, so don't do that to people.
Yeah, you can kind of corner them, and then that could make the situation just even
It can
worse, I
kind of
would
make
think.
it worse. It can make them not, it can, to me, it's like the biggest thing, the worst thing it can do is like make them lose passion and interest into the project that they're creating.
Yeah, that's
And it's
definitely
like
that does
that's the
happen.
worst thing. I wouldn't want someone like to do that, you
Yeah,
know?
kind of at least like, yeah, again, because you even emphasized like early on, like you love seeing people with full passion work on something that they're actually enjoying making. So
Yeah.
doing anything but that is really like detrimental to at least like the outcome.
Yes. It's like I feel like, well, if they don't feel so passionate about it, then the end product won't be, you know,
It'll
to
represent
their
that.
liking. It won't really represent that and everything. And it's like, you know, it just it to me that's like just such a soul crushing thing to do to someone.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know, I to me I'm a big live life to make you happy, live your happiest and well lived life and everything. Um, and
Yeah,
do
like
what
why
makes you
is
happy. So then,
yeah.
like they're doing something that makes them happy. Why are you going to take that away from them? Would you want someone to take, that away from you if put yourself in their shoes and see how you'd feel, telling someone
Yeah,
something like that.
a little empathy does go a long way, and that's
Long
like
way.
sometimes underrated. So moving on a little bit from fursuits, I mean fursuits is a big aspect of the community, and I think sometimes it's a little overrated, or at least I think, majority of the fandom does not have a fursuit actually. Majority of the fandom is, based online,
Yep.
and the few furcons that people do get to go during the year, a really busy year, is when they see the fandom for what it could be at. I think at 110%, and I just it's like a little soapbox right here, but I don't want to emphasize that people who look at all of the cool pictures and the art of people with fursuits, it's not representative of like the standard of a furry. It's not by any means a requirement.
Yeah,
Um,
and I agree with that. It it really isn't. With me getting a suit too, I kind of did get it, thinking that it was something that I would need to feel a real part of. But it really is, I think, the friends and the memories you kind of make
mhm.
with them that really kind of that makes the fandom great and fun. And you could stretch that to any kind of uh, fandom and any subculture type of um, thing that.
Okay, but what do you think? I guess if you had to give a contrast now between our fandom, specifically the furry fandom, uh, and these other, I guess you could consider them niche interests or subcultures, like anime conventions, or just some fandom based around like a show like Doctor Who or something, and they have really large communities like the Minecraft community and etc. for video games too. Do you think that there's like some specific thing about our fandom that makes it um different, or maybe you see no difference at all?
I don't really see a difference, I want to say, between um, any real fandom. Maybe, maybe in that, maybe the um, furry fandom is maybe a little bit more. God, I don't want to say original, but that there's no real face to it, I
Oh, that's
guess
actually a
you could
really
say.
yeah, that's a
When
really
you
good
think of
point.
like the furry fandom, what image pops into your head? I guess when you think of like the Doctor Who fandom, who pops into your head? Doctor Who, the everything else, they all have like
They're
some
they're the,
kind of thing
they're centralized around yeah, specific face like you
around
said.
that specific face or specific theme. Well, like when you say anime convention, you'll pop up Naruto.
That's funny. I was thinking the exact same anime.
Yeah, sausage.
No, but I am okay. I am like 20% weeb, so I'm not gonna discredit those people.
No, no, of course, and it's, and I don't think that there's like,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong too with
they're
any of
great
those
and amazing
cultures.
fandoms
Yeah.
and everything. While we have our fursuiting and everything, it's just fursuiting really to me is just like another form of you know cosplay. There are people who create amazing costumes, and emulate characters or in these worlds,
Mhm.
and there are people who create these amazing costumes and these amazing fursuits and create emulate these amazing people,
But
characters in our
it's
own world.
all original in a way, and it's all yeah, made for one person with that specific taste. And I think yeah, like the way you posed it before, like that question, what face do you think of when you think of the furry fandom? I think of my friends actually. I
Yeah,
th-
and that's what I think of too
I,
when I think of as a furry. I think of hanging out with you, my friends, the wonderful boyfriends I've met, I've made, since joining this fandom and everything. I think about all of the lessons it's kind of taught me that I didn't really learn as a kid.
okay. I mean, yeah, like wow, I'm actually like really thinking pretty deeply about this. The the way like it's so weird because like although we get along over this kind of anthropomorphic thing, like you can draw some commonalities and parallels with like what people are generally interested in, whether it be the suits or just the conventions, the artists, the art itself. Yeah, when I'm just thinking about my own experiences, I'm not thinking about something that I ascribe to that's only one thing. So I would say that it's although the communities themselves are are not necessarily different in the way that they get along over certain things, I think the furry fandom does kind of hold a place of its own where no other fandom can get along over a variety of things because not one specific thing holds us together.
Yeah,
And
that's
yeah, that's why it's so like layered, and I just I appreciate that so much. Because when we're playing video games, when we're talking about artists, there's an endless, infinite amount of stuff to talk about.
exactly. So it's not like we only bond over, I guess, just one thing. But and I guess that's why, like you said, when you picture the furry community, you picture your friends and everything, and that's to me just what it's about, the friends and the memories you make.
Yeah, I can't wait for BLFC. God, it's only
Ooh,
been like
BLFC 2020. Come on. I'm so ready. I've got that room planned. I'm registered. I'm ready.
it's been like what 5 months in the last con, and it feels
It's
like
been
forever
about
ago already.
6.5.
Oh, okay. I'm not counting the days, but like yeah, it's like 73. No, I'm just kidding. but but the yeah, like even what's going on right now? MFF.
MFF.
Jeez, I'm just like
Yeah.
looking at my Twitter and I'm just at work and I'm like, I'm not there right now.
Uh, to be honest, Sam and I were playing a league game last night. Play League of Legends. My name is Reidboot, Reidboot. I am a Iron Scrub. If anyone wants to have some not so good times with me, we
Nice
were
plug.
playing one time. Yeah, I know. Like, just yeah, free shout out. Um,
No, okay.
uh,
But no, no, you were
we
playing
were
with you
playing
and your
just
mate.
like last night, and we get into a lobby and someone ooh-wooed, and then everyone ooh-wooed.
Oh
We
my
got
god.
into we got matched into a team where everyone was that a furry.
Holy
I
crap.
I
Was that
didn't
planned?
say it, but I really wanted to. But I wanted to just be like, so you guys didn't get the lottery too, huh?
And they said, yeah.
No, I wanted to, but I just
Oh.
thought, well, if they're really here not an MFF, they must feel just as bad as I do.
Oh god, I do want to wear that big Squidward button on my chest right now.
Hey, at least you didn't have to stand in line for that line con, though.
That is true. I'm not jealous of that. I did see like everyone post LineCon, but they threw around some balls. So hey, at least they made the best of it.
Made the best. Yep. So that was great. I'm hoping that BLFC isn't too much of an elevator con this
Oh yeah,
year.
that's
It's
that's a
one thing that
whole
kind of
nother
sucks.
challenge. I mean, was it so much that the elevators in disrepair to begin with, or did we destroy them?
No, they were under renovation.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
they were
Okay.
just like under renovation and stuff, and some people are all upset. It's like, why are like the elevators down? It's like, well, the hotel's been there for a long time. It needs renovations and everything. The hotel's been going under constant renovation for the past you know couple of years, I believe. Like the type of room that we stayed in was a pretty recent room that was they only updated in the past couple of years
Yeah, and it was
and
lovely. I
everything.
I thought everything was clean and all up to, like whatever like nice standard there was. Like I had no problems with the hotel at all, even in renovation.
Yeah. It's just like, elevators, they need to be repaired and everything. It sucks that it happened during the time that
We
that
needed
we
it the
needed it,
most.
but
It w-
that's okay.
it was really
Um,
nice that they accommodated us with the open access stairwell. That was really
with the
nice.
stairwell, that was I really like that because, like I'm there, I'm on vacation. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I ate a lot today. Been drinking since 9 o'clock this morning. It's 9 p.m. Probably should go up. I should do a couple of flights of stairs and
And then
everything.
be
So,
winded. Oof.
and then come in winded, just like, oh, those stairs are fucking killer.
But it
Yes.
makes falling on the bed so much better.
Yes, it does. And then I wake up the next morning and I can't get up.
But oh, what's the theme for the next PLC? I should know, but
I believe it's Neo Reno. It's kind
is
of
that
like
cyberpunky?
a cyberpunky. Imagine, oh, what's that really that cyberpunk game that's coming up that everyone likes? There's that.
Something 77 or
Yeah,
2077?
yeah,
The
that
one
one.
the one with Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves. Yep.
Yeah. Oh god, I want him to just drive up in a Cybertruck from Elon Musk and then come out with wearing a fursuit and then just guns a blazing. That'd be so dope.
Oh, it's literally Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh wow.
2077. Okay, cool.
That's the name of the game?
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
I
Okay,
think.
well, at least we know what it is.
Yeah. So that's gonna be the release date. Con starts on the last day of my birthday.
Oh wait,
Of my
when?
birth month. Last day of my birth month, not last day of my birthday. That would be a really long birthday.
Oh, that'd be a fun birthday.
Um, yeah, I'm like excited. It's like a
I
birthday present
I'm getting the
all for
feeling
me.
that that is pretty sweet. I'm jelly. What I feel like the cyber thing was done before. Was it done specifically at BLFC or?
The BLFC did a dystopian theme
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
before.
So,
And that was like my first time that I ever went to a convention. I thought it was pretty cool. I lied to my parents and said I was going to Oahu for about a week to hang out with my friends. and that we were going to a concert, a
For
3-day
a
concert
week.
in Ava Beach. Yes, and they bought it.
So you said I'm gonna be about 80
I'm gonna
miles
be
west,
I'm gonna be a 20-minute
but
flight away. Um, at a 3-day concert. I'll be there for about a week with some very trustworthy friends from my high school that you know nothing about. I will be in a not so nice part, or just like I'll be in a probably shouldn't be there alone part of the island, at a concert where alcohol and drugs might be taking place.
seems legit.
Yes. Took pictures, posted them on my Facebook. Don't know why. Then my parents asked me where I really was. I told them I was in Reno
Wait,
at this thing.
did they connect the dots after it?
They
Or
connected it after when I got back.
oh gosh. So like, oh, how was Oahu?
Uh, and we saw that you posted all these things and told them. They said, okay, yeah, that decor was like really interesting. What was it? Well, it's just the theme of the convention, and
did did they know what a FurryCon was, or were
I told
you?
them when I got back.
Oh wow, so that's when you came out of the furry closet.
Yes, exactly. And my dad still looks at me and thinks, that's weird, but I expect nothing less from you.
Thanks, Papa.
Watching the gleam of disappointment in his eyes.
Oh no.
Um,
But he still
and
loves you.
uh, I don't know. Sometimes,
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
and my mother is very into it and stuff. She likes the fursuit. She thinks it's awesome that I go to this thing. Thinks
Actually,
it looks like
that's
so much fun. I'd love to come and see it one day.
that's the one thing I'll say about my parents too. Like a lot of the time, like even most of my family, I when I fursuit for the first time for Halloween, a lot of people were like really like just big smiles. Like they really were like, that's so cool. Like, oh my god. And then I have removable eyelids and they're like, oh my god, he can make different expressions. And I'm just like, do you just think this is a costume? And yeah, it's like they just thought it was just a cosplay or something. But no, they were just so enthralled. And even one of my like biggest sternest uncles was kind of like, that's dope, will you come to my daughter's graduation in that? I'm like,
In that,
uh
uh,
sure, I mean,
sure.
I guess so. I mean, I didn't know you'd be that
I
happy to.
charge $60 an hour.
I think that's what it is. They think like I'm a mascot or something. So, like, yeah, because there's a certain level or quality that you get with the fursuit. I'll just say that. Like, it's not your average, like Halloween costume that you get from Party City or something like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think they just thought I was a mascot for like some sports team or something.
Yeah, that's what some people thought too. That's what my coworkers all think. They've discovered my secret life.
Secret life of
My
pie.
secret life.
But that's
Yeah,
dope.
cream
No, yeah,
pies.
but that's the thing too. Like a lot of people, I think from the general public, the quote unquote normies, but
Ugh.
they really do like seeing like big, huge, lovable teddy bear people, and
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, I wasn't expecting that response for the most part, because
a
I've
lot
seen
of
some
people love
judge.
it.
Yeah, like on like good 99% of my whole experience was just like, that's dope. I respect it, and I'll give you space, but I love what you're doing.
Yeah, it's kind of like the first time that you first sued with that partial at KCON, 3, 4 years ago.
Yes. Oh yeah, that was a while
Yeah,
ago.
it was. God damn, that's a long time ago.
But that was like by
Uh,
far, like I did not even go to a regular furry con then, but the small convention that we have here in Oahu, just to let you guys know, is called Kawaii Con. It's a small anime convention, not specifically furry related, but our local group did host a couple of furry panels, and I think a lot of people did get interest from that. So
yeah,
overwhelmingly positive.
really positive. Lots of people really liking it. And everything. I remember us talking about it before, and you saying like it kind of blew your mind. I'm kind of like on the ground playing, like trying to interact with this, you know, child and everything,
Yeah, we
and
were
they're
both
loving it.
suiting.
The parents are like loving it, and it's great to offer that to
It
these
was that
people.
yeah, it was that level of like just like wow, this was a genuine moment where that little girl was just on the I think we were in like the dealer den section or something of the con,
Hmm.
and like she just caught like she was looking at you like the whole time, and she just wanted to like hug you and like give you a high five and everything, and like you were doing your little like expressions and stuff, and like oh, I was just watching on the side like that's like what the fandom is about, and like that's what it's about expressing, and I just love that.
Yeah,
Makes my
it's
heart
a
go
lot of
flutter.
fun, and it's great. It was probably like the second time I've ever done that in public. The first time was I suit up like every Halloween. I walk around my local neighborhood. I take my niece around with me, and yeah, the people really love it. It amazes people and kind of makes me feel good
Get the warm
being able to
fuzzies,
do that. Yeah, the warm fuzzies.
and then you can hug them with the warm fuzzies.
Yes.
Okay. Oh wow, it's been quite some time. So I'd
Holy
like to
crap.
wrap this up. This was a wow, that went by pretty fast too. So I'd just like to formally thank you so much for being a guest on Tree Bark. I've been loving like every second I've been doing this, and I love working on the post editing and whatnot. It's a really fun thing for me right now, and I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me and share with a lot of people your perspective and your thoughts on your experiences in the fandom. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Happy to be here. And for everyone, Theo will see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Oh my gosh, are there no?
No,
Don't go yet.
I
Are there
went for a Markiplier thing there.
are there? Yeah, that was pretty good. I liked it. Are there any plugs or anything that you would like people that follow you or your friends would like to know?
No,
No.
nothing that I can think of. Nothing that they need to know.
Can I eat this
No, I
now?
just nothing.
Can I?
Yeah, you can end it now. I got nothing.
Can I end this now? No. Can I end this
No,
now? No.
no. Can I have something to eat? No. Can
No,
you
that
say anything else but no? Please try your answer again later.
I like how there was some sass in that. No. Okay, so thank you so much for stopping by in the woods. I know we're just, two canids in the woods, and I have this stick that I talk into. But this has been Tree Bark. Bye bye.